And happy Friday afternoon, everybody. Jim Sinacropi with you here inside the FingerLakes1.com studios. You were just looking at a live shot outside our offices here in downtown Seneca Falls, where snow's been falling much of the afternoon, lake effect snow. And tomorrow's big event, though, is an actual winter storm. There's an advisory issued. Of course, there's a lot of events here in Seneca Falls this weekend with the It's a Wonderful Life Festival and the It's a Wonderful Run 5K, where 4,000 runners are coming. Well, it's supposedly about the time that race starts, about 4:40 is when that storm's supposed to be hitting, and it could enhance the event. You know, it could be it's a Christmas event. It's never really snowed for it in the 5-year history, so as long as it's not too much, it could actually enhance it. But of course, this storm could affect the entire Finger Lakes, and I have on the line with me right now to talk about it our own staff meteorologist, Drew Montreuil. How you doing, Drew?
I'm doing great, Jim. How about you?
I'm not too bad. Nice and warm here inside the studio. What's going on here with the weather? What's going to happen overnight tonight into tomorrow?
Okay, it's kind of a complex setup. The snow we're seeing today is actually a combination of lake effect and an Arctic cold front that's sagging south. And that cold front's going to come back at us tomorrow as a warm front as an area of low pressure tracks up into southern Ontario, Canada. At the same time that that's happening, a second area of low pressure is going to be developing off the coast of New Jersey. And eventually the low over Canada is going to transfer all its energy over to the coast of New Jersey and form a nor'easter over there. So a lot of different things kind of coming together to give us kind of a long duration snow. We shouldn't have too long of a period of real heavy snow. It'll mostly be kind of light and moderate snow throughout the day, Saturday, starting before the sun comes up tomorrow morning, lingering into the afternoon, evening, and then it's kind of overnight Saturday and around midnight Sunday. That's when the storm really starts to ramp up for a few hours and get some heavier snow. And then all by Sunday morning, it should be moving out.
What are we looking for in terms of total amount of snow?
I think most areas will probably end up with 6 to 8 inches. I think it's a pretty good bet that everybody will get at least 5 or 6 inches. There's a little bit more uncertainty on the upper end of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if some places ended up getting 10, 12 inches. It depends on how the energy transfers from one low to another. A lot of times, that's a really complex atmospheric phenomenon, so the models kind of have a hard time dealing with that, and, you could get a little band of heavier snow that sets up, and that could, enhance the snow over an area for a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody ends up with a foot, but most places probably in that 6 to 8 inch range.
So for the runners coming to Seneca Falls tomorrow, 4,000 strong, and all the other people coming to downtown Seneca Falls just to partake in the It's a Wonderful Life Festival, the race is scheduled to start at 4:40 p.m., and they do start at sharp at 4:40 p.m. What will the conditions be like at 4:40 p.m. Saturday afternoon?
Well, I'm expecting probably light to moderate snow at the time. I have seen some indications in the models, and this is still very uncertain, but it could happen depending on how the storm evolves, but there could actually be a slight lull in the precipitation late tomorrow afternoon or early evening. So it's possible that it might only be snowing lightly for a time during the race, but it's just as equally possible that it could be dealing with some moderate snow. Temperatures will be around 20 degrees, so it's going to be pretty chilly for the spectators. The winds shouldn't be too strong, but they will start picking up again a little bit towards the evening, about 10 miles an hour. So it doesn't look too bad for the actual race. Again, the heaviest snow should fall well after dark time, especially in that 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. time period. So the festival itself doesn't look too bad if you're okay with a little bit of snow.
Well, I think the snow will actually enhance it. It's a December event. It's a Christmas event. So it sounds to me like it could be a manageable amount of snow, and it could be just enough to add to the festivities.
Yeah, I really think, by 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we really should have only picked up a couple inches at the time. Most of that 6 to 8 inches is going to fall after dark tomorrow evening. It's really, pretty similar to today as far as the snow intensity and how much accumulation there's going to be. Just a couple inches by the afternoon.
Now here in Seneca Falls today, about I'd say about 2 o'clock, it started snowing pretty heavily, and we got about 1.5 to 2 inches. Where was that lake effect snow coming from? That seemed to be coming. It wasn't necessarily coming off Ontario, from what I'm seeing. It was coming off of Erie. Is that even possible?
Yeah, it was kind of a combination of things. We had a nice westerly wind over Lake Erie, and that sent a spray of snow showers and squalls into much of the Finger Lakes through the day. But then that burst that you were talking about actually was the cold front as it was sagging south through the area, and that did pick up some of the moisture and energy from Lake Ontario as well. So it was kind of a combination of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, and the cold front all coming together to produce a pretty good burst of snow for a time.
Well, Drew, it sounds like it's a good thing it's a weekend. Most people can take their time getting up and getting their driveways cleared off on Sunday morning. That's tomorrow, Saturday morning, probably not too much shoveling, but when you wake up Sunday morning, it sounds like you should plan on taking half an hour or so to clear the walk.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, by tomorrow morning it should have just started snowing, so probably, when you wake up early Saturday, no more than a dusting to maybe an inch or so.
Now, not to put too much pressure on you, but what is it now? December 13th. Today's Friday, December 13th. So we're 12 days away from Christmas. The extended forecast seems to be cold and include snow. What are you giving the odds of a white Christmas at this point?
I think it's a pretty good chance. I was looking at some of the longer range stuff, and towards the 21st, so we're talking about a week from now, it does look like we'll get another brief warm-up, kind of like what we had last Thursday when temperatures rose into the 50s for 6 to 12 hours. Since a lot of the snow we've gotten is real light and fluffy stuff, once we get up into the upper 40s and 50s, it can melt pretty quickly. But it does look like once that warm spell kind of moves through, we'll get back into some more weather systems coming in with snow, some more pretty cold weather, for the days just before Christmas. So I'm pretty confident that we'll end up with a white Christmas, even if we do lose most of the snow cover late next week.
Well, Drew, thanks so much for taking some time late on Friday afternoon to get our listeners and Finger Lakes residents up to date on this winter storm that's coming through Saturday. It doesn't sound like it's going to be an unmanageable event, but people should be prepared for 6 to 8 inches of new snow. And as far as the events in Seneca Falls, they're all a go, and it sounds like it could be a good thing that we're getting a little snow. Maybe, but if you're traveling to Seneca Falls, certainly take your time, give yourself extra time to get here and to get home. And certainly there's still places to stay around here if you want to book an overnight on Saturday night, so you don't have to worry about driving out after the run or after the race. And there's plenty of events Sunday. So Drew, have a great weekend, and we'll be checking in with you again soon.
All right, thank you very much. Have fun.
Well, there was Drew Montreuil, everybody. It's about 5:04 Eastern Time here in the FingerLakes1.com studio, and time to head home for the weekend. And good luck to everybody in Seneca Falls tomorrow for the It's a Wonderful Run 5K, and have a great weekend.